we're back with another episode of Meathead Mania here, and we got Tyler Ryder.
Hold on, that might be the fucking name.
We got Nick Tadlock. We got Johnny Wynn. We got Andrew
Koenig.
Candy
Andy.
I don't want to mess it up. Otherwise known as AK. And these guys just all competed in a powerlifting meet over last Saturday, right?
Yep.
All right. What was that called?
Barbenders 2.
Okay, very cool. And that was down in Burnsville.
Burnsville, yeah.
At Southside.
Yep.
And let's start out with the trainer, the leader of the pack, the head of Wolf. You hit an elite total, right, Nick?
I hit elite total. I needed 1673. I got 1685.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
And how did that go for you?
It was good. I had a hell of a meet. I think everything went as well as it could have, and then some. Dropped about 12 pounds leading into the meet. Stepped out on the platform about 15 pounds over, so I was really happy about that. Yeah.
So what did you weigh in the day of weigh-in?
I was 99.8 kilos, so 219.5 is what my official weigh-in was.
And that was the day of the meet or the day before?
No, that was the day before. 24-hour weigh-ins with USPA. So.
Holy cow!
Yeah, and then I weighed in at 9 a.m. By 9 p.m. I was 234.8.
Holy.
Yeah.
That must have felt good.
Oh, God, it was great. I ate a lot of things that I hadn't eaten in a long time.
Yeah. So for you had how many people that you were training at that meet besides you yourself lifting?
7.
7 people you had a coach, and then you were lifting on your own.
Yep.
How did that turn out for you? What was that experience like?
It was good. The last meet that I did, how many did we have in Tennessee? It was
5 of us.
5 of us. So
okay.
That was 5 people, but I think that was harder because it was on 2 separate platforms. So there was times when I would get off of the platform right after an attempt. I'd run over to the other platform, watch an attempt, call a number, get back over to my platform. This one was all one platform, so it was a little bit easier to handle. But I was running out of the back room to hand off benches and call numbers for people. So it gets a little bit hectic, but it's a lot of fun. I had 2 people competing in their first meet ever, and they were in their 50s, which is.
Did you have anyone helping you, Coach?
Reyes kind of helped out a little bit. Reyes is the other face of SISU.
Basically, just gave everyone attempts that they wanted. And then
Yep. So I delegated a little bit. I had my girlfriend call attempts. If they hit this, I want them to take this. If they don't, if it looks easy, 20-pound jump. If it doesn't, And she helped out a little bit. Reyes helped out a little bit, but he was competing too, and it was his first meet as well. Okay. So I didn't want to put too much on him.
I was gonna say most people don't talk about that, but like coaches who try to lift at me, that's tough.
Yeah.
Like I know for weightlifting, I tried. It was like 3 years ago. I stopped.
Yeah.
Coaching at meet or lifting at meets now because you were there.
Yeah,
I Clarked my second lift and I almost fainted.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that takes a lot.
Yeah, you guys were on the same page a lot too because I saw Andrew going over the scorer's table a lot, giving him lifts and telling him who was next for Maddie or whoever else. So, what were your total lifts for all 3 lifts then? Let's go back to what you did.
So the breakdown, it was 611 squat, 413 bench, and 661 dead. That 611 squat and the 413 bench were both limit. They were both limit lifts for me, but there was a lot left on that 661 dead.
Yes.
I
was like, it looked like a fucking bar.
That looked way too easy. Yeah. The reaction after is kind of surprising as well. There's a lot to take.
I have a pull this week at 675, so we'll see how that moves. I want 700 here in was it 8 weeks? I'm going to do another meet just to go get that 700 dead. So.
And are you going to stay in the 220-pound class for the next meet?
Next meet's going to be at 242.
It is, okay.
I'll be.
Lots of
I'm gonna stay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay somewhere around 235, so I'm within striking distance of that 220 weight class.
Yeah.
If I want to go do like a national meet or an elite meet or something like that, but I would like to ideally total 1733, which is an elite total for classic raw is a 242. I want to hit 1733 at 220 before I start competing 242. So
very nice. And Andrew and Johnny here, what was your experience? You guys both killed it as well. What was your experience like?
I don't know. Going into the meet, a lot of ups and downs with this training.
And was this your first meet or second meet?
I've done a couple. I've done 4 or 5.
Okay.
Second meet ever at 275. Going into the meet, I don't know how I hit numbers I did. Biggest
Yeah.
weight I touched in training for squat was 585.
Yeah, you hit
Somehow
a
cranked out
grinder
645.
of a double at 575
That's
at one
impressive.
point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
So the most you ever got in training was how much?
585.
And then what did you open up with that at the meet?
585. We were going for it.
You were ready to go.
Hit that, knees wanted to explode. Asked Nick what he got. He said 611. I was like, all right, well, we need to at least hit 611.
Yeah.
Went back, hit that, and I was like, well, I'm not going for a third. My knees are absolutely shredded. And Nick's like, oh, what's the state record? 642? 645 it is. All right,
Yes.
let's do it.
And you hit that.
Yeah, I actually
Like a
smoked it. I
fucking
feel like, I
broomstick.
was going to say, I feel like I had a lot left in the tank.
That was really good. Well, your technique is amazing. You come down super slow, you hit that hole, and you pop up like crazy.
I don't know how technique's amazing is.
Yeah.
All
Because
through
most
training
people,
is
yeah.
moving leg or moving feet
Yeah.
out, moving feet in.
It seemed like most people had a pretty similar speeds. They were coming down fluid and came back up, and you just were holding everything in the tank before you could fire out like a rocket. It was
For me,
impressive.
I go down usually super slow, but those
Yeah.
wraps were so intense. I was like, well, let's just get it done with as fast as we can.
And we can talk about that for a second too, because you had like two people on each shoulder, one person holding a leg, while someone is wrapping that sumbitch up tight. That was impressive.
Those fuckers hurt.
Yeah, we've been there. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, they're terrible, but they
probably
work.
still bruised up from it.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah, are you? Because that was over
Yeah,
a
I
week ago,
still
and you
have
still had.
Still pretty decently
gnarly.
Yeah. Brad Neitzel, the first time he ever wrapped me getting ready for this meet, he wrapped me twice. First time I couldn't even hit depth because they were so fucking tight. Second time barely hit depth, had to pause it damn near at depth because it was so intense. And then at the meet, he's like, well, going for broke, I guess.
Dude, I mean, you buried it. Your first attempt. Did you see Nick?
And I walked out, both of you were just leaning to the side like, wait, he actually hits depth?
Yeah.
What is this?
It was the deepest.
We don't have to
squat
try to-
He
in a long
buried
Well,
time.
and you're taller too. What's your height?
6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, that's hard to get down that low, especially with the. Because you're not super low bar, are you? It's kind of mid, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's super duper low.
No, you're like
Yeah.
mid bar.
Yeah. What'd you get, Johnny, in the squat? You were pretty.
I hit a probably a 470-ish, high 470s.
Yeah, I think it was
Did you call that?
474.
474.
Yeah.
And what was your body weight weighing for the meet yourself?
I weighed 88.3.
Okay.
Trying to
so,
bulk
He was a
into it.
light 198.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, nice.
Didn't have to really do much for the meet. Just stayed
Yeah.
at my
Yeah.
normal body weight. I actually
Yep.
binged the night before. Ate a
wow.
lot of
Very
ice
cool.
cream and weird
Very
shit.
cool.
But,
Yeah.
I hate
It
the
was
little
fun.
guys.
Yeah.
Fasted the day
Yeah,
of.
yeah. So I already.
If you're under weight class, that's
yeah,
great.
we talked about this prior to the podcast, but actually, it was a self-experiment. Just because I normally don't eat till 2 anyways. Because I'm not hungry. It's not anything I do normally. But I'm just not hungry. So I actually fasted throughout the meet, starting at 8.
That's incredible.
And I fasted through the whole thing. Felt great during squats and bench. Again, had a teaspoon of the iodized salt you brought,
Yeah.
and Gatorade.
To keep
That was
cramping.
probably it throughout the whole meet.
So you normally train fast, you said.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what time do you train throughout the week normally?
Probably 11
Wow.
to 12. Just
Okay,
get,
what's
like,
the last, when do you eat your last meal the night before?
I actually eat pretty late, probably around 11 or 12, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because,
Okay.
yeah, so it's
Okay.
not too
It's
bad.
12 hours faster than you were with.
Yep, basically. That's what I do. So,
That's incredible to get that much out of yourself when you've been fast and mode. It's incredible.
I felt good.
But if you're used
Yeah.
to it,
Yeah. So
Wow.
it was good. It was good. Ended up hitting, like Nick said, a 474. 474 squat, which is a 20-some pound PR, and then a 303, which is a 10-pound PR probably. Still had more in the
First
tank.
time we've got over 300 in competition.
Yeah.
He hit 325 this week though on a touch and go bench.
We have to talk about that. My taper and peak is not on point right now.
Well, to say, all of you guys sound like you peaked really fucking well. So run us through what you did. I mean, your bench you said was off a little bit by week, but with everyone hitting huge numbers, it sounds like everyone was on point.
Everybody has state records, don't?
Yeah.
Say, how many state records did
Yeah,
you
how
do?
many
So
state
how'd you taper everyone?
Yeah, I don't remember how many state records. We'd have had a lot more, but we had a couple people who weren't residents of Minnesota yet, and I don't know how that works out because
Powerlifting is different. I
yeah,
have no idea.
all of my lifts would have been state records. So if you count how many lifts were actually above Minnesota state records, I finished up with 3. Andrew, was you 1 or 2?
I had 2, bench and squat.
Andrew, so that's
Yeah.
5.
But I
Reyes
opened my
had
bench
1,
with state
so
record.
that's 6.
I had
Joe
1.
had 3, so that's 9. Lisa had 3, so that's 12.
So
Matt, I don't know if
Well,
Maddie
I have the
had-
deadlift state record.
Johnny had his
Yeah.
deadlift, so 13.
Does it just come down to your address at which you?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. And to be honest with you, the state records don't mean. I mean, it's cool to hit for those numbers, and it's cool that SISU athletes have those numbers. But we're in there just to be fucking strong, lift some weight, and compete, and put it on the platform. But as far as the peak went, God, I don't.
It's a little different this time than last time.
It was quite a bit different this time than last time. The last time we went in, the peak beat the shit out of us, and we had a tough time. Just everything came together for the meet itself, but
How long of a prep did you guys do this time around?
So we hang out in this general like kind of power builder. I've been running like kind of this power building programming. We'll hang out in that till about 8 weeks out of the meet, and then it's probably about 11 weeks out of the meet. We'll start getting more serious. Run through some fives. Run through about 4 weeks of fives. Run through about 4 weeks of threes. Less accessory work, more compound movements. The accessory work changes from like your tricep extensions and things of that nature to now like closed grip bench press is our tricep work and floor press, and like so more compound movements as far as accessory work goes. Everything that Andrew hates. I don't know. I kind of
find you a coach that you think hates you because he deep down likes you and wants you to get better.
But we run like a 3-week peak or taper, or whatever you want to call it. The first week is going to be the most volume. I'm going to try to really hammer the guys. The second week we'll go up in intensity and we'll cut the volume in about half. And then finally that third week it's just 3x3s at 70%. We'll lift on Monday, we'll lift on Wednesday, and then we'll hit the meet. We tried a couple new things here. Lately what I've been doing, I have 1 day of bench that's full, like for all my guys are raw, but it's a full range of motion bench press. And then the second day is going to be an overload bench press. So we'll bust out the slingshot. We'll do 3-inch lockouts. We'll do different things of that nature, the floor presses, things like that. So going into the meet, you got to kind of be aware of how long these lifts take to recover from, especially from the big guys. Like a heavy deadlift or squat is going to take Andrew much longer to recover from than it's going to take like my girls, Maddie or Lisa, to recover from. So our last heavy deadlift is about 14 days out from the meet. Our last heavy squat's 10 days out, and our last heavy bench is 7 days out. And I don't ever want to overload more than 2 main movements in a week. So like our first week we overloaded we overloaded bench. We overloaded deadlift. We did the heavy reverse band, and I think we overloaded squat. I can't remember for sure. And then the 2 weeks out from the meet, we overloaded bench. And then the week before the meet, it was just recover, get healthy.
So with all the overloading and the techniques you guys are using, how many days are you going per week? Did it taper off as you got closer to the meet versus so much volume?
Yeah, once we got serious about we went for that general power building phase. Once we got serious about meet prep, we went down to 4 days a week.
Okay.
And then the last week before the meet was just 2 days. I was just get in, move around, get the blood flowing, hit the movements.
Do you notice a huge difference between men and women and size of athlete?
Yeah, absolutely. The size of the athlete is huge, and also men and women, the differences are huge there too.
Because I know for us, I've totally changed how I taper and peak our women compared to men.
Yeah.
Like completely, because all my women were peaking a week after the meet.
Yep.
And the men were all of a sudden all fucked up. Oh man, what's going on? We adjusted things, and then we got it on point. But yeah, women are completely different.
I think I noticed that. I had 2 ladies going into this meet. One of them I ran a 5-day with going into the meet, and then the taper turned into a 4-day-a-week deal. And then the other one stayed 4 days a week throughout. And Maddie just hit a 5x5 at 225, and it made it look like it was just a smoke show. And that was the week after the meet. So I think one of the things that happened there is exactly what you're talking about. I think she peaked a little bit late. Yeah. Lisa is a 115-pound lifter, and she is somebody who's been training purely aerobic for the last 10 years, and she's only been lifting for a year. So she handles volume and she recovers incredibly fast. Yeah. So she's the one that I stuck with the 5 days with, and I think I peaked her right on time. I think Maddie peaked a week late.
Okay. Yeah, that's something we've had happen a lot, and I've adjusted it since. But Olympic weightlifting is a little different, but the body still reacts, to a stimulus, right? Yeah. So yeah, some lifter like Nick would be crushed going into a meet, but a smaller lifter like Morelli would be on point. The big, just me basically, and Mark is one of our 105 lifters. He'd be crushed.
Yeah.
And then someone like Katie or even the Morgans, they peak the week after. I'm like, what the so that is something that's hard to find. It's so individualized. It can be.
Tough, yeah. And that's why we're starting to move over to more of the RPE stuff, the auto-regulating, not only volume or intensity, but volume too. I think that's huge. As long as you have a mature athlete who can run it, who's not going to fuck it up. But some of Max Ada's new stuff on strength training for the weightlifting athlete has a lot of stuff in there about minimum or maintenance volume, and then maximum recoverable volume, maximum effective volume, and he has different ratios and stuff to try to figure that out. That's something that I'm going to try to experiment with some of my powerlifters who are in their off season. I want to see what works better, auto-regulating or trying to use some of these different equations or these different things that he has. It's kind of like a point system. It's not going to translate it's not going to be the same because it's weightlifting and powerlifting. There's going to be a little bit to play around with there, but I think both of those systems are a hell of a lot better than just telling somebody to do a 5x5 or a 5x3 or a 4x6 or 6x3.
No, 100%.
Everybody's so much different when it comes to that.
Well, especially too with a system like that we have a lot better feedback. I know for me, I already have a few lifters where it would be way beneficial to them because you're gonna know where they should be that day, rather than they self-regulate. They're not gonna do the right thing.
Right.
Some people just try pushing intensity way too damn hard.
Yeah.
And that's something as a coach. I know. I was saying that. I already know that. I guess he's that guy.
I feel like that did help me though when I was getting really beat up.
Yeah.
Because we had that talk about my work schedule is all messed up. So on the days that I feel like crap, pull back a little bit. The days
and that's something like I used to program deloads at specific times. Now it's like, oh, I need a fucking deload.
Yeah.
Where before, if you deload and all of a sudden that's a week you could have hit big numbers.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen when it happens.
Absolutely.
Right? So that just comes with learning and years and time.
Yeah, the training age makes a huge difference.
For sure.
And you get every once in a while you get somebody like Andrew who just wants to fucking max out all the time.
Oh, we all have that. We all have that
You
lift.
give them a 7 RP. Yeah.
And they're usually like some of your best athletes, and it's just you want to say, what if you'd fucking listen and do what I say, you'd be better. But then it's like maybe that's why they're good.
But yeah,
it's kind of like there's the two sides of that coin.
Is the reason that they're in the sport that they're in. So you can't stomp it out. You don't want to stomp it out, but there's I remember one time we were doing bottoms up bench press, and it was week 1 of the program, and I called for a 7 RPE. So we were going to do week 1 7 RPE, week 2 8 RPE, week 3 9 RPE, and I look over at the bench and I watch Andrew. It's like 425. It's a grinder. It looks like an 8 or a 9 RPE. I was like, all right, that's probably going to be his last one. 10 minutes later, I look over at the bench. He's got 455 on the bar, and he's fucking just grinding through it. And
I'm like Dan Green. I grind every single.
Like
it looks like a
10
RPE, but
he does 3
I know
more.
I can hit 7 of them.
Yeah.
So back to the meet for you guys. And how did you do on your deadlifts and bench? What are your numbers?
You go first. I'm garbage.
Bench, the state record was 370, so I knew I was hitting that. I opened up with 424, hit that. Next one was wanted to join the 200 kilo club, so I hit 440 or whatever 200 kilos is. Hit that better than my opener, so I thought I had that 457 in there. Misgrooved it a little bit.
That's good though.
Yeah, bench is definitely
you
my
can
lift.
handle that.
Yeah,
That's his
I-
lift. He's
bench
gonna.
is the most
I
confident.
mean, he'll be a 500 bencher before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
especially with shoulders feeling a little better now.
What was your max? Was it the 440? Did you do more?
I went for 457 on my third, misgrooved it,
Gotcha.
touched a little high in my chest, so I got stuck right off. But
Yep.
I know it's there.
And how's your dead?
Deadlift, what max I hit in training was 605. Opened with 590 to secure
Yeah.
my national total.
Yeah.
Went there to get the national qualifier. Then I was like, well, what's next? Like 1,700 total. I needed 617. Blew that up. Looked at Nick and Brad, and they're like, well, put some fucking weight on the bar. Okay, well, what's weight on the bar? I've only touched 605. And I think Brad or Nick's like, 640 to 650. And then the Andrew mentality kicks in. It's like, 650 it is. Sounds good. And then I think it actually surprised me at how much 650 moved.
Yeah, it came
so all of
off
a sudden
the
I
floor
blew it
well.
off the floor, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. Like, I think about halfway up, I was like, this is supposed to be heavy. And then all of a sudden I folded over. I was like, all right, well, we can't do this yet. So
That pissed me off when you didn't do that.
then afterwards I realized if I would have pulled that, I would have gotten an elite total, and I would have beat Nick in the overall. But, that's just me. So,
They call
Merry
my name.
Christmas, Happy
They call my
birthday.
name for best overall lifter, and Andrew. Everybody's cheering. Yeah, and Andrew.
they didn't finish his name. They said Nicholas, and Andrew would go, fuck!
Well, I knew if I would have pulled it, I would have beat him by 0.6 on the Wilks. So I was like, damn it. I would have tried harder if I would have known.
How about you, Johnny? How'd the rest of it go?
Oh, the bench was solid. I kind of, we had a little miscommunication on the second attempt.
You needed that 4-pound jump.
Yeah. I made a 4-pound jump, thinking 3.
I'll take the minimum.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Baking powder?
The judge
Seriously?
actually, the judge,
He's trying to chip his
Wait.
opener.
What
Yeah,
about the
no.
scores table? They just look at you like this
no.
guy.
The
Like,
judge was like, you're supposed to, or no. What did he shout at you? Or he told me, leave warm-ups in the warm-up room. And I was like, I am sorry. And then he yelled at Andrew saying,
He's like, you need to tell your buddy. Johnny, try harder.
Hey, guy.
Yeah, put some more weight in there. So I misgrooved, or I miscalled the 130 kilo, which is what,
It's like
280,
I don't know.
280
It was
something?
286.
286. Okay,
Yes.
there you go. Thank you, Tyler. Wait, but
Yeah, sorry.
and then I think we decided to take a conservative jump,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
go 303, just so I can hit my
Yeah.
quote unquote PR.
Yeah.
So 303, I smoked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
had it
I
there.
definitely had an extra 310 at least in the
Well, you
tank.
hit 325 like nothing with no shoes on.
Yeah.
On a lifetime bench the next week. So
So bench went well for me. I was happy with bench. Deadlift, not so good. What's the conversion to 601?
Yeah, I think you pulled like 600. You opened with 600.
600,
Then
yeah.
I called 630.
I smoked 6. Like I stood up with 6.
something like that.
So I was confident with 6.
Yeah.
Like I forgot to even latch my belt. when I
Well,
walked
that's still
into the
pretty damn
platform.
good, though. What did you want to get?
I wanted him to get 300 kilos.
Yeah, 661 to be with.
I think, I think Johnny's one of the best. Johnny, pound for pound, is the best deadlifter that we have, and I wanted to see him put up 300.
Do you have gorgeous long arms and short legs?
No, I actually have long arms and long legs. That's the weird part.
Asian,
I mean,
bro.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they do pull well,
That
man.
Chinese genes got me.
Do pull well.
walk in the gym, you got 500
No,
pounds
no,
on the bar.
yeah.
You need his dress shoes.
Best
and
story.
just-
Oh yeah.
the double overhand. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But I think there's something to say, like going. I mean, I tell lifters who are new, like they're so worried about like PRing. I'm like, fuck that. Let's go for weightlifting. Let's go 6 for 6.
Exactly.
There is a point to because that builds confidence. Also,
It
you're gonna
does,
be
it
hungry.
does.
You're gonna keep building that.
that's
going
true.
They
moving
got
forward.
I had some left in the tanks, and they want to go kill it the next week and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I've had it where I've gone, 4 for 9. It's like, well, we know where I'm at.
Well, because there's nothing worse
What's
than
4 for
there's nothing worse than fucking
190
bombing
times.
out.
Yeah.
Especially in weightlifting, it's such a
haven't done
mental.
that yet. Big
There's,
drop, but-
it's never happened to one of my lifters. Actually, Morelli, who's I would say one of the most sound weightlifters in the whole goddamn state, bombed out on snatchers once, and we're just like looking at each other. I'm like, didn't have his day, man, and we didn't even
Yeah.
go heavy. It was just something was off.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but it happens.
I have no excuse. Just 633 was. I wasn't
Well,
strong enough that
They
day.
didn't count anyways because they were sumo. So
Yeah, no. Okay.
Will you pull
This is-
sumo?
This is what I like to tell
Come
people.
on,
This
that's
is-
you're
this
like
is-
5'10".
This is what I tell people. As long as I can conventional pull more than them, it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, as long as
To
I
be
can.
fair, I only pull sumo when I actually
Okay,
deadlift
yeah,
because
yeah.
my back's so fucked up.
Okay,
but
okay.
Yeah, no. So yeah,
You
sumo
can also
brothers,
double
that's
overhand 585. No.
Yeah.
that's
It's
not
not like
impressive.
Eating butt with the best of them.
Yeah. So,
So we got some training and stuff. Talk about your mentality going into the meet, throughout the meet. Like, how did that evolve, change, especially being
different we
faster
are.
for you?
for
How'd that
for
evolve?
for the do you want to bring up Tennessee or just
Well, Tennessee, you were crabby.
So my first ever meet in
Let it out.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
I was very annoyed, as in I didn't really feel like
Because the
competing.
people you were with, or just
No, just I'm not very a competitive person. No, you guys are awesome, but I'm not a competitive person.
I think there's a lot going on too. With
Naturally.
2 different.
you just want to make
platforms.
friends there.
Yeah, well, no, just there was a lot going on. Like I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Was that your
Walking
first
to
meet
me.
there?
That was my
pretty
first
big
meet.
meet, for his
Yeah.
first meet.
That was a national meet on Tennessee you're talking about?
I qualified for nationals at me too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took.
You got first.
I got first for the juniors.
Like best overall junior
How old are you?
powerlifter.
I'm 21.
Can never tell with Asians, man.
Asians don't raise me.
age like wine.
Asians don't.
I'm
die.
35.
47.
No, seriously.
Dude, remember? No, sorry.
It's real. It's
Tangent. Our landlord in college. What was his name?
Paul Chen.
Paul Chen. This guy was, what was he, like 80s? And he looked like he was 55? Sorry.
That's amazing. No,
That's
that's awesome.
inside story. But yeah.
But my mentality is just to go in and support my teammates and do as best as I can. I'm not really there to win. I'm there to have fun. That's me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes people like that do the best. I think some people are way too hard on themselves going out.
Apparently, I won the award for most smiles.
John's like, yeah, everyone looks so pissed, but every time I look over, you're just smiling.
So,
Yeah, that's good though. You're gonna lighten things up.
Rare in any like powerlifting or weight because your whole focus
yeah.
has to be on yourself. Selfishly, you have to.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can do that is pretty impressive.
I was there for more of Andrew because I said if he qualifies for national, I will compete in nationals.
So I knew I had to qualify for
So
nationals.
he had to, and I was there more like to support him and Reyes, our second SISU coach.
Okay.
It's his first meet, so I was trying to get him fired up.
Very cool.
But it was fun. So
How about
You
you,
probably-
Randy?
but
What was
it's-
your mentality like?
I look like I'm ready to stomp out a baby.
Yeah.
Like I just have the, I don't know. I just try to get like the most angry I can, go to a dark place. That's always helped me lifting. Like I'm always screaming, always slapping myself, trying to match the intensity I think it's going to take to lift the weight. So
No, it's good. And some people that works really well. I know I have a lot of female lifters, and sorry, girls, but when it comes to weightlifting meets, anxiety sets in. They show every ounce of crazy they have. So, like, I know it's good to have people around to keep them calm. Otherwise, they just don't lift well.
Well, that's one of the
Like,
biggest
it's-
differences I've noticed in powerlifting. Everyone's got their headphones running some platform waiting for the hand to raise and to walk on the stage, and they do, and they're just ready to just go crazy. But in weightlifting,
It's like
people
golf,
walk
man.
up
Yeah.
all very nicely and they're at the bar, and next thing you know, they're clean and jerking as much as they want.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's totally different. Like, I know even like for me, because I do super total training, if I'm hitting something very aggressive like a squat or even like a jerk,
Yeah.
I fucking blare tunes. If I was going after like a snatch, I'd be like, meh. And that's a huge transition too, like especially if you do something like powers compared to full depth. It is. It's totally different. And I know obviously it's different between men and women, but we've had some, you go to weightlifting meets now, and we've had, there's kind of a transition. We see some powerlifters in it, and they try to bring that mentality to it. And right away I'm like, that motherfucker ain't making the lift. We had a guy here, he did hold a few state records. I don't know his name. Strong, but he come out there and screaming, hitting himself, and we're like, idiot. And then he bombed out on light weights because he doesn't know the sport. It's a different sport.
and I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what is? Because I obviously don't know, but like, just why? What's the
It's too.
mindset? I guess.
So many
It's too much finesse and mechanical. I'm not saying weight or
No.
powerlifting's different, but it is like, come on, hold a snatch. If you're off by an inch, you miss the fucking lift. So if you're in your head and being, absolutely nuts and not calm and collective, you're not going to make the lift. Like, because you're going to pull too hard, you can get out of position. You're just going to do something, and that's important. It's such a discipline compared to getting crazy, keep your heels through the ground and keep pulling.
Yeah.
It's different.
powerlifting, even if it breaks down technically, a lot of people are strong enough that they can grind.
They can
through
correct
that
it and
one.
grind through it.
Just
Yep.
like Andrew said, I misgrooved it. Well, it made a fucking 90% lift a little bit tougher, but
Yeah.
he still made it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And in weightlifting, 90%. If you do that on a snatch, you ain't fucking making
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't
It's
making
going
it.
behind you or
Yep.
whatever.
No, exactly.
Props.
It takes one little technical flaw and the lift is done.
Yeah.
Well, I think for Andrew, it was that Karate Kid headband that helped pull through it.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
You had a Karate Kid headband on?
Oh,
that's
American
fantastic.
flag headband.
Yeah.
That's badass.
I don't know why I decided at this meet that's what I was going to do. So I wore headbands
You
leading
found
up
out
to it.
yelling is your cue.
Yeah.
Did you listen to?
Hey, never worked.
Do you guys have entry music?
They
I
don't
would
have
have
like
Stone Cold
specific to the
Steve
lift.
Well, I was gonna say you should have Bruce Springsteen, but
Well, no, I have what's the theme song? The wrestling with
Pokemon,
Triple
gotta
H.
catch 'em all.
No. It's DX, the theme song.
Oh, Degeneration.
Degeneration X. That's what it is. Yeah, that's my theme song.
I say Triple
Triple
H.
H and-
He's no, man. That's Motorhead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different monster.
The game, baby.
Yeah, we're talking about his game days when they were taking on WCW and
Shawn Michaels.
Oh my
Sweet
God.
chin music.
Oh my goodness, the greatest. So let's talk about like you two as coaches plus competing. We talked about a little bit earlier, but like,
Yeah.
what's your mindset like when you have to coach all your competitors, be there for them as you're supposed to, but also keep yourself in check as well? How do you manage that?
Well, this is where being an athlete, early on in life has really helped me. It served me in this because I played baseball growing up. Played baseball in college, and baseball I think would be comparable to weightlifting, where it's very finicky, and like any day, any number of things could go wrong. And then to switch over to powerlifting, which is just so fucking simple, stupid, like it's easy to flip the switch on and off. In baseball, I couldn't flip the switch on and off. I didn't have that. And in powerlifting, I'm really able to flip the switch on and off. I can set it to kill when I need to, and then I can chill out and I can be coached when I need to. It's easy for me to make that transition. So I'm just there trying to support these other lifters that I have, especially these people that are there for their first meet. And I'm lucky that I have a really good crew around me. My girlfriend is running around like fucking crazy all day, helping people out. She was huge. And then, Reyes, it was his first meet, but he's done weightlifting meets in the past. He's a military guy too. He's super composed. He can handle pressure. Not worried about him at all. And these guys are veterans too. So, if worse came to worse, if I got hurt or something weird happened, and these guys will be able to handle themselves just fine, I think. But
well, it seems you guys fed off each other really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you as much as you're coaching them, they all kind of support each other really well.
Yeah, we got so many compliments on that throughout the meet.
Yeah.
Everybody's really impressed with the crew that we have and the community that we have, which is, it's weird that, there's a couple, there's maybe one other kind of like powerlifting team that was there that I noticed, but for us to have this community, and we've all only known each other for about a year now, for us to have this community that we have is really special.
And how does who's your youngest lifter? How old's your oldest lifter? Where does that range from?
Am I the youngest?
It's between
Johnny's
Johnny
youngest.
and Maddie.
I'm the youngest.
Johnny's the youngest. Yeah,
Maddie's
Johnny
20,
and then
Maddie's
Maddie's
older.
22.
Oh, she's 22.
Yeah, she's
Holy
older.
shit.
And then
You to pop.
yeah, he's the young blood. I'm 28, and then Reyes is 30 something.
32.
32. He's the old man.
31.
31. Fucking 40. Who knows?
You go all the way to Lisa too.
You have some older
Lisa
competitors, right?
Lisa's in her
Lisa's
50s.
the
Joe's in
oldest,
his 50s too. So
Lisa's 57, actually.
something like that.
Yeah, Lisa's 57, dude.
That's the thing.
So
is
21
it
to 57?
feels more like a family than a team.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're all in a group chat together.
We
And
are.
everyone's
Wow.
texting each other every
Yeah,
day.
we had dinner, like a family dinner the night before the
Yeah.
meet.
It's
We
awesome.
ate after the
I
meet.
go out to eat after.
That's
So.
I mean, even James, when he came after
Yeah.
the meet, was complimenting, like, I just love how you guys feed off each other. It feels more like a family than a
Yeah.
team.
Well, the
I
guy
think
from
that's what helps
California
too.
walked
Yeah, it's
up
pretty
to
cool. You don't
Yeah.
have the opportunity to have that kind of camaraderie and community after high school or college sports. Like
No.
it's just it's
No.
pretty rare to have that.
I agree with
For
that.
you guys to develop that is awesome.
Yeah.
They'll run through a brick wall. If you could tell them to do whatever you wanted to, they would do it. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Which is impressive to build. That's amazing. How about you, Ryder? What's your experience been like through coaching multiple lifters and at weightlifting meets?
For a long time I was able to do it, and I would still lift well.
Yeah.
And then a few years ago at state, which then it's our LWC in Minnesota. I mean, the qualifying totals are higher than University Nationals, so I mean it's a big fucking deal. And I was coaching from like 7 a.m. and my session starts at 9 p.m. I had to lower my first attempts. My second attempt on clean and jerk, I mean, literally, I only hit 80% of my snatch. I was just that tired.
Yeah.
And then my second attempt on clean and jerk, I was like 83% or something like that. And I did a Clark, got dizzy, waved, walked off. I'm like, I'm done. I told Roger Sadecki that, and sitting there shaking. So after that happened, that's actually right before Bob came in. So, and I was kind of a lone wolf, so to speak, back then coaching.
Yeah.
I didn't have much of a coaching staff. It was just me. I mean, we have a big weightlifting team. I got like 30 lifters.
Yeah.
You had 30 lifters on you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like at any
that's
given meet, like we have a lot. So at any given meet, there's some people only do like one meet a year, but at state here, it's the same like 4 teams. Us, Undisputed, Kingfield, Spartacus has a good presence, and there's a few other stragglers along there, but it's usually the same teams. And all of a sudden, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Bob
Even with
provides
Bob's
resource,
help, I can't
yeah,
do it
he's-
anymore.
we'll
we
get
have
him
too
on here
many,
soon, too.
and I don't
He's
want to like
amazing.
take that away from the lifters.
Yeah.
So I haven't competed in a few years because of that. Not to mention injuries from football, which have come back to haunt me. But it's one of those things. Now I wouldn't mind going back into it and just doing powers and fucking around. But will it happen? I don't know. But it is a very hard role to have. I don't think people realize how much time and not only that, how much nervous energy a coach
I get
gets
more
drained.
nervous about these guys' attempts than I
Right?
do my
No,
own,
you do. Like you're sitting there, oh fuck. Did I call the right number?
Yeah,
And
you
I mean,
watch
you
them
have
start to
confidence as a
grind, and
coach,
you're
but
like,
you always second guess it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're just worried because then what if that person misses a lift? You're like, maybe I should have gone lower.
Yeah.
So you put it on yourself when you should, and at the end of the day, it's up to the athlete. A coach, you're there to guide them. So I mean, it's just how it is.
Do you think it helps you guys turn it on and off the switch so you're not focused on yourself? So I know, like, from squat to bench, I'm sitting there just like, fuck, did I set my opener too high? This and this. Does it help
might.
you?
It might, I
Like,
don't
in
know.
between, like, all of a sudden, like, all right, I did my lift successful. Now I need to go focus on Johnny instead of, all right, bench is coming up. My
Well,
shoulder
for
hurts.
powerlifting's different. Like for weightlifting, you do all snatches,
Yep.
all clean and
Oh,
jerks
yeah.
in a session. So I mean, I would be all alone at the end of the night, and I'm 105 plus, which now
What are
it's
the last lifts?
110 plus, whatever.
Yeah,
Because the
change
weight
the weight
changes.
class, yeah.
But like, I'm all alone. I'm at the end, so
Yeah.
all my lifters lifted all day long. Now
You were
I have to
coaching
lift.
since 7 a.m.
Oh yeah. So now I just
Emotionally
pulled a
draining.
12-hour day, and now I have to
Yeah.
lift heavy weights. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So, so that's where for me it just got kind of to be too much.
It's emotionally draining at the
Oh
end of the day.
no, like you have
You're
nothing
fired
left.
up for 6 of your athletes.
Yeah, you're,
and
you're
it's
in
all
like
right, what's left
sympathetic
for
nervous
me?
system all day, and then you're fucking coming down. There's no way to come back unless you
Yeah.
guys have an ounce of coke. Let's
Yeah.
go. So there's just no way. I just couldn't do it
Hell
anymore,
of a
man. So yeah, I just
Let's
Yeah,
go.
you better have that pizza waiting for you, comfort you, right?
yeah, pizza, some whiskey, and a lady's love. Like, there's no way to come back from that, man. So no, it's been good, but like you said, you definitely learn from it.
I think weightlifting would be much tougher. That would be a much tougher gig than it is in powerlifting. We were in and out 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just
Well, that was
working
a
out.
fast
that was
meet
a
too, with
yeah.
less lifters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was
So-
nice. I like that a lot.
You put in the way things are run in weightlifting, and a 12-hour day and 30 lifters. It's a little bit different story.
So how about nutrition-wise? How'd you guys all follow the same type of plan leading up to, a little bit different? How'd that go for you guys for that wise?
Yeah, I have. He
All
doesn't-
of us except
he
for
doesn't
one.
fucking eat.
Johnny doesn't
So
eat.
he eats 3 ribeyes a day. That's his.
Yeah.
But we all work with a nutrition coach. We all have the same. Most of us have the same
Bjorn
one.
Strong.
Bjorn Strong.
Hashtag.
He's a
Shout
Oh,
out.
Mike.
He's a fucking beast. Yeah. But we all work with Mikey, and he does an incredible job with our nutrition. And the most amazing thing about him is he can tailor your nutrition. He can work with 15 different people and give them 15 different plans. It's not all, it's not all if it fits your macros or it doesn't all follow the same, the same plan. He adjusts it to the person. I've had a lot of talks with him about adherence to stuff, and he's big with that. So, anyways, he does my nutrition. He does Andrew's nutrition. He did who else? Lisa, Joe. He does my girlfriend's, but yeah. So my nutrition plan looks a bit different than Andrew's nutrition plan. Andrew was doing some vertical diet stuff on his own, and I think he
So good.
I think he did pretty good with that. But I think it did really help him to have something that was somebody else put together, tailored for him.
Like, you can't give me all the power because then everything I like sounds good for
Yeah.
the macros and
Yeah.
all that.
But I was going into the meet probably I don't know, about 2 months out of the meet. I was trying to get to 242, and I made it up to my heaviest 236.
Just a little guy.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed.
I remember when I weighed that much. I think I was like
to
fucking
say that I
12.
had
right?
trouble gaining weight.
So funny.
Yeah, but you're also lean as shit.
Yeah. Well, I got lean. Yeah, I got lean.
Yeah.
But
Were you not that lean before?
I was anywhere from 13 to 15.
No, you always been pretty lean.
Yeah,
you've been
but-
a big
but-
burly
Dude, that's
man.
hard.
went
That's
from-
hard.
I went from 232. I was just looking at the InBody at work the other day, and I have my stats saved down there. And I went from 232. This is probably 3-4 months ago. 232 at 13% body fat to 232 at 6% body fat. So that's 10 pounds of lean mass.
That's
yeah, and that's been the time that I've been working with Mikey. That's what he's been able. That's part of what he's been able to do for me. Yeah, he made.
Check on Insta. It's verified.
he made a huge difference for me. And part of the reason I think Andrew showed out so well in squat at the meet and did so well with bench at the meet.
The bandana.
Yeah.
Well,
100% that.
obvi the
I'm a
bandana
500
was
squatter without
75% at least of that. But I think the nutrition really helped him out too going into the meet. And I don't know, I can't speak for him, but I think
I never thought about intra-workout nutrition. Mikey opened my eyes to that. He's like, hey, halfway through your warm-ups, you can just tell there's this huge drop-off. You need dextrose, you need some Gatorade, you need this, and that completely changed it around for me.
It was just everyday workouts or
Yeah.
just the meet itself
Yeah.
every day?
Yeah, every day. Because I'd always go in there and like if I had 5 top sets,
Yep.
the first one I'm just done.
Yeah.
that's the little things that add
Yeah.
up. That day after day, those little things add up. And if you miss a set in training, if you miss a rep in training, A lot of people get real worked up about that, and I'm not going to reach my goals. But
That's me too.
if you can put in the work on the nutrition side of it, day after day after day, that's 30 pounds on a lift. That's 40 pounds
For
on
sure.
a lift. You know, that's
Or
the
71.
little.
I think that's just training in
Just
training in
Yeah.
general.
Meat.
Yeah.
Especially,
So-
it could be the opposite side of the coin. If someone wants to lose weight, it's like, okay, where are you at? You're fucking taking in underneath your metabolic rate, and then
Yeah.
you're training on top of
too.
it. Now you're in survival mode, and then you're retaining fat, and you wonder what the
That's
hell's
what I
going
was
on.
doing.
Yeah.
You put on 71 pounds, you said?
It's 584 to 645. So he goes 71
Yeah.
pounds from
I mean,
training
it's
to.
fucking massive difference.
That's something I've never tried. How do you guys like the dextrose?
I do it almost every workout, and whether it's the most economical way to do it is just get some Gatorade powder at the store.
Yep.
I do 2 scoops of that. I do 2 scoops. I'll kind of sip that from warm-ups to midway through workout, and then towards the end of my workout, I'll do another 2 scoops. That's
the only thing I
about
can have during a
120 grams of
workout.
carbs. Yeah, it goes down.
It's just
really
basically
well.
sugar.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
you break it down,
Yeah.
like, you break it down into glucose, but it's just fucking
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah, and it's
Simple.
fast acting.
It's like a
What's
simple
really
sugar.
funny is that on the way home, like if I pound that at the end of the workout on the way home, I start getting all hot and like shaky and like hypoglycemic and stuff.
Really?
But it really does make a big difference in the workout itself and in the recovery.
For me, it's
So you do 4 scoops of that?
Yeah, when I have my tough days, when I have my hard days, and it's like 120 grams.
120
like 4
grams.
scoops or whatever.
And what do you do, Andy? Were you pretty able to adhere to the nutrition as well yourself? Have you gained a lot of body weight from when
well,
you
I
started?
started out with him like I made mention of. I
Yep.
was eating so below because I'd never want to have to cut to be in 275.
Yes, yeah.
So I was just cutting calories. And I worked with Mikey, and he's like, "You are under eating like an MF." All of a sudden he sends me this new thing, and all of a sudden the next 3 days, I'm like, I can't eat this much. Like, I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna be 285. I really don't want to cut. Stepped on the scales like
I'm
5
285,
pounds lighter.
man. What's wrong with that?
I want to be a lean 285. I can't be a big hairy bear of a 285.
He's got you in the beard.
You don't know
He
Gary
does, he
Yeah,
does.
he's got you in the beard.
But
No, no, that's something that a lot of people deal with, though. Like, especially, I'm sure you deal with it, where all of a sudden, person just starts working out.
Yeah, all the time.
What's that? Whoever made up that baseline of 1,200 calories? Fuck that
Fuck
guy.
them.
Like, come on.
that's what
That's
it was
a
for
thing?
me. I went on
No, that's a thing, man. Like, I don't know why. I hear that's the most common thing, especially with women. 1,200 calories. I'm like, your metabolic
lot
rate
for
right
some
here on the in-body says 1,400.
Yeah.
What are we fucking doing here?
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, if it works, it works.
MyFitnessPal said I need this much. I was like, I'm just gonna sit right around that. And all of a sudden, Mikey throws on an extra
2,100?
Yeah. So Mikey throws on an extra 1,000 calories. I was like, no, bro.
So you're basically
Save
doing
the weight
vertical
for it.
diet then?
Pretty much.
Isn't that the best thing ever?
I do love meat.
Okay.
Meat,
okay.
rice.
I don't do the steak.
No. Okay.
Why?
But you can vouch for this.
that's
I've done the
expensive.
vertical diet.
I was just talking about this. Go to Sam's Club, man.
Get a meat pack, bro.
I've done the vertical diet for even before it was
Before
a
it
fucking
was cool.
thing. Yeah, like
It is pretty stupid.
It's simple. It's
But no,
simple.
there's certain things like I know for me that you add like the orange juice and a few other things. Also, I'm like, holy shit! Like for me, I see a huge difference.
I think that's what pisses people off. Is it's too simple. Like,
No,
there's
right?
no way
They're
it can
they're
be
trying
that
to fucking
simple.
overthink it.
I need this extra
Well, it's got to be
glucose
consistency,
or
right?
yeah.
man.
Exactly. The bottom line is with the diet, just being consistent and actually making it work
100%.
for yourself.
Everyone
So-
needs that D-aspartic acid or that thing that's gonna give them natural testosterone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Burn 20% body fat in 5 days.
Duck fetus, dog.
Duck embryos. That's
No,
what
I just do like a carton of Ben and
Michael
Jerry's. At least
Michael
twice a
Hearn.
week.
That's anabolic as fuck.
Yeah.
You and Rich Piano when he was alive.
Oh my god, that
No,
guy.
hop
it's
on
the
duck
secret.
fetus, dude.
So how many calories were you doing a day, or did you build up to coming up to this meet?
I'm interested.
How many
He had me
do you-
at
I
like
think I was probably more than
3,400 and some.
I was at
And before that, I was having
Half of
And I was
that?
yeah
losing weight.
2,100.
Well, no, I think I was working with a guy who's a bodybuilder, but he was, he helped me with my metabolism reset and all that shit, but I don't think he really understood the training I was doing. He did a great job. But there came a point where we both actually worked with him, and all of a sudden I'm like, dude, I can't keep doing this cardio. I can't keep doing this shit. And I switched to vertical diet, and all of a sudden, I mean, you think about it, you're eating a lot of red meat, a lot of
Yeah.
calories in that. All of a sudden you just, your metabolism takes off. I mean, it works.
It's awesome.
That's what I love about Mikey is my girlfriend does bikini bodybuilding stuff.
Yep.
Our plans are completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Like now, obviously, I eat more, but like the things that we're eating or the things he recommends that we get in during post workout are completely different, and I love that.
Sure.
But your posing's the same, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, my booty's a little bigger than hers, but
So how many
it's going
carbs do you
over
have you taken at 3,400 calories?
On a lifting day, I have about 400. On a non-lifting day, I have about 320 something.
Are you pretty much staying on white rice with vertical diet? Or do you
Yeah,
incorporate
white
different
rice
things
and
in
sweet
there?
potatoes, pretty
Very
much.
nice.
Yeah.
How about, do you do like any, I know with mine, I started doing like the, whatever, it's basically tastes like white paste. The Greek yogurt, are you trying some of that for some of the
fudge,
probiotics?
fudge,
Yes,
yeah.
that,
I'll
yes.
try to have that right away in the morning.
Okay, good.
Just to sit well with the stomach.
So
Right.
monster mash all day.
You don't
every
look
day?
like much of a yogurt guy to me.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying.
I
Yogurt,
get my
what the
little
fuck's
yogurt
that?
packs.
He's white like yogurt.
Hey, you are kind of albino powder. I got a spoon in the back if you want to rub it, it'll bend.
When I go to the store, I get the SPF that makes me whiter when I go to the beach. 'Cause I'm too scared of the sun.
So you got this whole team going, and it's called SISU, am I right?
SISU, yeah.
SISU, okay.
Yeah.
And right
What was
now
that again?
you have SISU?
SISU.
SISU.
And you have how many lifters on your program right now with you, Nick?
Oh God.
Growing by the
That's
day.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
we had 7 at the meet. Abby. I'm gonna estimate. I think we have 10 to 15. You're
Okay.
gonna estimate, yeah.
And are you guys all training for another meet coming up in the future that you already know of, or
Yeah.
potentially, or?
I have that meet in October. I think I have a couple lifters lifting in that meet.
Okay.
Then we're gonna do a deadlift competition. Trying to win me a
15th.
gift card. Yeah, that's in September.
You gotta beat me first.
Shoot. I'm gonna open where you finish.
It starts now. Write
And,
this down.
And then as far as I know, kind of the main core of powerlifting is gonna shut it down for a little while,
Yeah.
take our off season.
Let your body
And,
recover.
Yeah, let our bodies recover. There's gonna be a good sized group of us going to nationals in Vegas in July, so that's gonna be kind of the next thing that we're gonna all be gearing up for.
That's awesome.
I just took on a weightlifter, and she wants to get ready for a meet. I don't think we'll do Rochester, but we'll see.
I
what
think
we
I'm
end
going to
up
do a
doing.
meet instead here.
Are you?
I'm sick of fucking going to Rochester.
Awesome.
So, fuck Rochester.
That's
So we'll
sweet,
do it
yeah.
here.
When
We're
you don't
doing
want to
it.
travel,
Fuck
just
it.
throw it at your house.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, fuck that.
Backyard, dude.
No, they do a
kinda-
great meet. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're doing it early
Cool.
November. Just so you know.
Do you think you're gonna do Nats too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll do this. I don't know why I wouldn't.
That's
They'd go
fun.
to Vegas and fucking
Fuck yeah.
compete. Are you kidding
That's
me?
a
When
huge
is
Do
it?
that one.
July. Next July.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go to the fucking Arnold. That's just
I
gonna
know,
be
we're
dope.
going to the
Yeah,
Arnold.
we're gonna go to the
By the
Arnold.
way, my
We're
great
gonna
auntie
boost it up
lives
there.
there. We have a free place to stay.
Alright.
So let's go get weird for like
Yeah.
5
he has
days.
oh
As
shit.
long as I'm in the middle of the sandwich, we're
You
good.
come to the
All
Arnold?
right, let's go. We're
I'm-
going.
I'm-
So if
yeah, I'll
people
go.
want to get in contact with you, Nick, where do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram.
What's your take on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram at nick.kinda.thicc. Nick.kinda.thicc with 2 C's. You can find us the SISU page is SISU Training Systems, and you can find it on Facebook at nick.kinda.thicc.
Nice. How about you, Johnny? Where can people see you? Where can they see all your?
At Johnny kinda big. Because I'm not big.
You guys
or
are all
small.
about size.
Yeah, so
Kinda. No, kinda.
I'm not too much of a douche. It's like, oh yeah, he's actually kind of big in person, so I can't. You know, so Johnny
You're
kind of
not
big.
full douche, you're just
At
kind of.
Johnny kinda big.
Kinda, yeah.
Shoulders are deceiving.
He's wide.
How about you, Andrew? Where can people find you and follow you? The intensity, the crazy, the headband.
Gosh. On Instagram, I'm candy_Andy275.
You might have to change it.
Dude,
Now I'm gonna have
that's not so okay. You don't like have pictures of bands and shit on there like
$20 is $20. Okay.
Not gay, but 20 bucks.
I mean,
20
hey
bucks.
man, you know, money's money.
It was a nickname given to me. Just throwing that out there by
I love it.
Can you
Johnny.
repeat that again? What is it?
Candy_Andy275.
Dude, I never heard that.
The writer.
That's my
whatever
guy.
you call it. What's your information, buddy?
Rider 63 Torque SC, or you can find my gym at Torque SC for Instagram.
Barely remember.
Apparently, I had to think about it. Like, wait a minute.
That's awesome.
Or Torque.barbell is our weightlifting club.
got
What
it.
about you? You're not anywhere.
Nothing. So what? Off the grid.
He's off the
was-
grid, man. He's a minimalist.
We're going off the grid.
You guys, anything else you want to go or talk about, or just keep rolling? Or?
Calling it Kern, U.S. Open 2020. Nick
2020
Tadlock,
will be
watch
at the
him.
Kern. Yeah.
We'll try.
We wait
Caddy
for that
time.
invite, Kern. We need that invite. See all those invites going out.
He is powerlifting.
Yeah,
Iron
I
Rebel.
am
So yeah, let's talk about that real quick. If
Yeah.
you're elite total, does that mean you are eligible for invite only meets? Is that what that?
Yeah, there's some invite-only
Indicates?
meets, yeah, there's some invite-only meets, and then there's some of the fit expos that have those
You
are
have to
elite
apply for
only
those,
meets.
right?
Yeah, there's some of them are invite, some of them are apply only. I don't know. I'm new to it, so we'll see what happens. But I know ones that I know just right off the top of my head: Chicago Fit Expo is the USPA, and then Anaheim is the USPA. I think
Oh,
the
I didn't know
Arnold
that.
is UPA.
Yep.
So if I have a stellar meet here in October, I might be qualified for the Arnold. I don't know how that really.
Would they have
works,
qualifier for
but
powerlifting?
for the
They
Arnold?
don't,
Yeah.
they don't have a qualifier
Because
for
they
the
have-
Olympic
it's like
weightlifting, unless they
XPA
change
or
it.
XPC or something like that.
Maybe the weight change. I don't know.
Well, they need to for weightlifting, because you'll see garbage lifters with like elite people. I don't agree with
Yeah.
that. But, no, that's good.
But hopefully we'll be doing some elite meets. I'll cut down to 220 for all of those. I'll stay at 242 for these local meets, whatever.
Very cool. What are you guys into this week? What's been the highlight of your week, Andrew?
Trying to get rid of these bruises and aches through my entire body. I think I tried
Awesome.
lifting one day because Johnny hit a PR. I didn't get anywhere close to a PR. I might have hit Johnny's PR, but that's
Dude, that's
about
why.
it.
Can someone just
It's also
buy an
his
ice
birthday
bath
this
and keep
week.
it at their house?
Yeah.
I might need one. I'm too
That's-
scared for those.
Do you remember the ice
They're
bath
about
days?
halfway
Yeah,
under.
they're the best.
You need
They're
to
awesome.
try
I actually like ice baths in high school.
We actually have a thing with
Did
the
you like
guys
ice
that's
baths, Paul?
experienced. They bought
yeah.
that
I
place
like
out.
an ice bath.
They came and did one like
they're amazing.
showing, and they haven't been back.
Balls
I'm like,
in my throat.
yeah, right.
Wait, talking about like the what is that called?
Yeah, I actually have a
cryo
membership
chamber
because
thing?
I said they could come to my gym, but they haven't been back, so I haven't
Oh,
gone.
okay.
So I guess I can go as many times as I want. I
They're
haven't
waiting
even
for you
taken
to go
advantage
there
of it.
before they
Yeah.
come here.
That's awesome.
They
They don't
probably
want to show
listen
their hand
podcast.
first.
They're done.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Johnny, what's been the highlight of your week, man? What are you into this week?
This week was weird.
Apparently maxing out.
PR'd in
Yeah.
not every lift, but
We're almost PR'd in deadlift.
Yeah. So for my
You ate food.
because I ate food. 'Cause I did fast throughout the meeting.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, that's
Magical how that
amazing.
works.
Yeah, I know, right?
Next week, eat in between
I've been
bench and
salty.
deadlift.
But this week I actually PR'd in bench. I hit 315 for the first time ever for a double, and then I did 325 for a touch and go, and then
With no shoes.
I mean I don't know how fast it was, but I
It looked-
destroyed
yeah.
Showed up to the
635.
gym and
Was it a
flipped
sumo bench?
Sumo bench. That's all.
He hook gripped it even. He even hook
sumo
gripped it. It
bench.
was
So
disgusting.
I don't know what happened, but
Wait, you hook gripped it?
6-something.
He hook
You
gripped
are
it.
Asian.
Well, we're okay. We're trying to transition. Andy and I trying to transition.
Well, just throw me on the bus too.
Yeah,
that's fine.
just trying to do the hook grip, just better on his
tried
bicep
to.
at least. And
I was
just wanna
having
try.
bicep issues all through training.
Yeah.
So I figure I'm gonna try to get technical and switch to the dark side hook grip, but
So
I got these small Burger King hands. We'll see how that goes.
this week's good. This week's good. Let's just say that this week's been awesome for me for some odd reason.
Awesome.
So,
How about you, Nick? What's going on with you this week? What's
Work. I don't know. Shit. Working. Getting all these guys' programs squared away for the next 4 to 8 weeks. I don't have to worry about it. Trying to figure out who's doing what and when.
That's a motherfucker, isn't
It
it?
is kind of a motherfucker. Yeah. But
Next
you know,
week I'll reach out.
I'm trying to do more individualized stuff because I want these guys to be as good as they can be. So it takes a little bit more time on my end, but in the end, it's great PR when they do well. And I want to see them do well either. It's not all about me. I want to see them reach the heights that they want in this sport. So trying to put together stuff for them and trying to do that, I suppose. Yeah.
And then real quick, you did have somebody record all the lifts at the meet, right?
Oh yeah.
John.
Shout
Our videographer John, he's fucking awesome. The shit that he puts out is
Made a
epic.
deload look like a
Yeah.
movie
Fucking
promo.
max effort.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was
Oh my
like,
God.
Is that on your Instagram?
But,
or
it
it's
looked
not-
like
it's
the
not
movie
out-
300 with
Yeah.
dudes from Minnesota
Never seen
lifting
300
weights.
315
Yeah.
deadlift look so epic.
He's working on the video right now. He just had another couple of gigs come up, so he's a little bit backed up. But as soon as the video's out, that'll be on my Instagram. I'll have it on. I'll post it on my Instagram. There'll be a link in my link tree on Instagram for it. You can follow him at John with 2 N's Robinette on Instagram.